Hi. So, we are back by special request. Just kidding. We have been so busy, just moving, and, he, got, promotion, kind of, so he's been working a lot, I've been working a lot, but we're taking time to film this right now, and it's late, so sorry about the lighting. Anyways, I got asked about, how we met, and I thought we'd share, because it's a really nice story. Okay, so let's just jump right into it, because I have filmed this before, and, I didn't really like it, so we're gonna do it again. Okay. So, once upon a time, in October of 2010, I got a job working in a hospital. And it was like the first week that I started working in the hospital, and I got assigned this older man who, he was like 97, and what I had to do is just sit with him for 8 hours because he couldn't be alone in the hospital because he just wasn't acting right. So, so I'm sitting there watching this man, and his daughter comes in, and his daughter's around like 50 years old, and we're just talking, and, you know, a couple hours pass by. I'm about to feed the man, and Nick walks in the door. And we sort of just look at each other and lock eyes.
And then both look away.
Yeah, we looked at each other. When he came in the room, it wasn't I didn't get the feeling that I get with most guys who are attractive, where you just look. No.
What?
Where you look and you're just oh, you're cute, you know?
No.
No, I'd hit it. I got the feeling, it was just weird. I looked at him and I was just I don't know. I can, see.
Yeah, and I didn't get the feeling where, most girls, I'd be I'd hit that.
We didn't get the feeling. We got, I got, I don't know, I just got this strange feeling. So anyways, it happens to be his grandfather.
Right.
And
I had been going in there for about a week. He'd been in there. And I had been going in every single day for about, a couple hours every day just to visit, make sure he's alright. And this was the first time I had seen you, and this was the first time you had seen me, but I had been there every single day since he got in the hospital. And so anyways, I walked into the room, we lock eyes, and you kind of stopped feeding him after a while. And my aunt was still there?
Yeah,
for a little while.
So we're all just kind of talking, and I'm just oh my gosh, this guy's so cute. But it's I'm at the workplace, I shouldn't be having sexual thoughts.
Which is completely understandable. And I was thinking the same thing. I should not, be trying to date my grandpa's nurse.
Right, and so his aunt gets up to leave, and I'm oh no, he's gonna leave. But he actually stays, and we talk for 4 more hours.
Okay, but I had the same magazine in my hands, mind you, and it was home goods, and I kept reading the same recipe.
You did.
For about 5 hours, pretending I was reading this magazine over and over again, just because I wanted to stay there and talk.
So, all of a sudden he just gets up, and he's well, I gotta go now. And I'm just kind of that sucks. And he just leaves out of the door. And I'm wah, wah, wah. And then he pops his head back in, and he's so, when's the next time you work? And I was in 2 days.
Just like that, actually. And scrubs and all.
In my scrubs and all. And so he left, and that was the end of that. So, and this is just like a little side note. I started a Tumblr about like 2 days before that. Like, I only wrote about like 5 posts, but that night that I met him, I wrote about him. I wrote like a couple paragraphs about him. And it was so funny because I completely forgot about it until like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, look at it. This post is about you.
Right.
It was just, I'll post it down below if you guys want to see it. It's cheesy. Really cheesy because it's just like so girly and so like, it's pretty funny. Anyways, back to the story. So 2 days pass by and I go to work again and I notice that I'm not assigned to his grandpa's room. I'm assigned a couple rooms over. So I'm like, crap, like what if Mr. Right is in there and I'm in the Mr. Wrong place? So I like tiptoe back into the room and his whole family's in there. I'm talking mom, dad, great aunt Sue, cousins, second cousins,
yeah.
Incestuous cousins.
Incestuous cousins. You don't even know what that word means.
I do. And I'm just like, holy crap, like this is embarrassing. Like I thought they could obviously tell I was there for like one reason.
Right.
And I see Nick in there, and we're kind of just like, oh, like, hi. It was kind of awkward because his whole family was there.
And you were talking to another male nurse.
Okay, my coworker was actually in his room. He was assigned to
and
his room.
And I had met him before, and
I was trying to tell him, like, hey, let's switch rooms.
Great guy.
And Nick thought that we were dating.
Well, I thought that you were.
Because Nick is a very
me.
Jealous person, ladies.
I'm not a jealous person.
You know how that is.
I'm just caring and concerned about my loved ones.
And so,
Anyways.
So I'm just like, oh crap. So I just go back to the room that I'm originally assigned because I was really embarrassed.
Right.
And all of a sudden I see like, a couple minutes pass by and I'm like contemplating going back into the room, like talking to him again. And all of a sudden I see him just walk by the room that I'm in.
Your room.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is he doing?
Okay, because what happened when you...
There was no reason he should be even on that side of the hospital, but he just, like, I just see him, like, walking by all suspicious, like...
And, yeah, it was kind of suspicious. But you had left, when you left the room, you, like, walked out, and I didn't want to, like, follow you out, because, you know, it was only the second time we had met.
Right.
So I didn't want to seem creepy or anything. But anyways... So you walk out, and then you go down the hallway real fast, and I peeked my head out my room that I was in, and you were gone. And I hadn't seen you, so I was like, well, great, now I gotta go walk this entire floor and hope she's on this floor in one of these rooms.
Right, so he was walking to try to see if I was in any of the rooms, but when he passed by my room, he didn't look in.
No, and I looked in every single room.
No, you wouldn't have.
Every
or you would have
single room. I peeked my head
Anyways,
into.
let's not do this.
Okay.
And so what I do is I scribble my number down onto paper, and I'm like, if this guy walks by again, which I had a feeling he was, because it looks like he was searching
for
gold.
Okay.
So,
Jeez.
right, I scribble my number down on a piece of paper, and he walks by again.
So then I'm walking down the hall, and then I hear this.
He just walked by, and I was like, okay, this is like my only chance. So I run up behind him, and I'm like, oh, hey, like, you're here?
And I turn around like, you're here.
You're here.
I walked around twice already, and I'm pretty sure I didn't see you either time.
So we go to this, like, little break room area, and we're kind of talking for a little bit. I still have the note with my number in my hand, like, debating when the perfect time is to give it to him.
Mm-hmm. And I was in love shock, so I was shy to ask.
You're really shy.
Because we had just met, and I didn't know your whole dating policy at your work. You couldn't date patients' family members. But anyways, so
we're talking in this little break area, and then once again, he's like, by this point, he's carrying stuff in his hands because his grandfather is going to leave to a different hospital. So, again, he's like, okay, well, I gotta go. And I was like, oh my god, this is my chance, this is my chance. And he gets in the elevator, and I'm like, okay.
Have a nice life.
And he just leaves. And I'm like, crap, I didn't, like, that was my one shot, and I lost it. So I'm sitting there, just, like, thinking to myself about how my world what could have been, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the elevator opens up, and he's there, and the stuff is not in his hands anymore. And I was kind of like, what? And he's like, you can say what you said.
Well, I ran downstairs, and I was walking out, just as I was walking out the hospital doors, I had this sudden feeling of fate and destiny. So I turned back around, go to the security guard, I'm like, hey, can you hold my flowers? I left something upstairs. Because I had flowers, my grandpa had flowers. And so I run back up the elevator, and that's when I see you back in the lobby. And luckily you were still in the lobby. I was hoping you hadn't gone back to work yet.
Right, so he comes back up.
We started talking.
We started just talking again, kind of odd. He was just like, oh, well, I have a few minutes. Like, I told security to hold my stuff.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I did? No, I did. Oh, I might have.
I don't know.
No, I think we just started talking, yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I really have to go now, because, like, everyone was waiting for him. And then he's, like, going into the elevator, and I'm just, like, here, and I just hand him the note.
This is the thing, though. I saw you fiddling around with this piece of paper that you had written your number on before I even left the first time. I'd seen it. So I knew you were up to no good.
So I just, like, I'm like, F it. I just hand him the paper, and I'm like, use it. And what did you say?
I will.
He said, I will.
Very James Bond-like. And then I just pressed the button, and the elevator went down, and it was cool. Romantic.
So that is how we met. Kind of weird circumstances. I was, like, watching his 90-year-old grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to be, you know, assigned to that room that day. And that's how we met. And, he texted me a day later, or 2 days later.
Like 2 days. I had to wait.
2 days later.
I had to milk it.
Once he texted me, I was going to text back, like, I met someone else.
Whoa.
2 days is a long time. Okay, anyways. That's how we met. Thank you for watching, and we will record a video soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later. See you later.